welcome back to another brand new video, and today we are here at none other than Needles in the Isle of Wight. This is one of the most famous, most popular tourist attractions to come to here in the Isle of Wight, and I'm very excited because you've also got the chairlift, which is really cool because it can take you to the beach and you can see the cliffs, see the different sand. It's really interesting. But anyways, let's get into it. We first started off by visiting the famous sand shop that uses sand from Alum Bay. More of that later on in the video. Anyways, there were many different coloured sands, specifically 21. They are classified into 6 specific colour groups: white, black, red, green, blue and yellow-brown. It was also very interesting to learn about how these sands came to be, so let me tell you about it. The oldest rocks visible on the island formed around 110 million years ago. Around 70 million years ago, the seabed rose, eroded and sank. The new sea was very shallow and laid down a series of sands, clays and chalks that can now be seen on the multicolored cliffs of Alum Bay. This sand was also deposited into horizontal layers millions of years ago, but over a long period of time, the movement of the Earth's tectonic plates caused the cliffs to buckle, making the sands vertically aligned. After learning about the history of Alum Bay's colourful sands, we went to their gift shop to buy a few souvenirs. As we walked around, we got to learn about the ready-made sand shapes that could be filled by hand here. These shapes were made of glass and came in various shapes, some resembling the lighthouse in the Needles, a teddy bear, a toy elephant and even a model of the Isle of Wight. Alum Bay became a popular attraction during the reign of Queen Victoria, who came to live in the Isle of Wight in 1846. Victorian visitors filled glass bottles with the sand to take home as a memento of their visit. The popularity of these souvenirs increased when Queen Victoria requested for a glass bottle filled with the colourful sand for her island home. This can be seen at Osborne House, another very famous tourist attraction in the Isle of Wight. As well as this, our current monarch, King Charles III, was gifted one of these glass bottles during his visit to 1982. We bought one of these handmade glass bottles and a fridge magnet to serve as our memory of our visit to the Needles. Before we went to the most popular thing to do at the Needles, we quickly watched a part of a magic show that was hosted by a friendly man by the name of David Randini. Here's the clip.
We'll start. First in goes his legs, then in goes his chest, and lastly his head. On the top will rest. Now he looks his best. What's this? A trick he's played on me. His head's where his legs ought to be. Yes, you can laugh, but you think too. How would you feel if this were you? I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll put his feet here on the table. Then he won't be able to jump there. Then in goes his chest, and lastly his head. On the top will rest. Now we're sure that everything's right. Oh no, it isn't.
After exploring the majority of the amusement area, we headed to the main star of the show, the chairlift to Alum Bay. It was only me and my friend Kohish who went in this chairlift, whilst the rest of my family stayed and watched us ascend into the trees and eventually over the countryside on top of the cliffs. One of the weirder things that I noticed as we went towards the famous beach was that a lonely cottage was situated in the middle of a vast field with barely any trees. Other than that, the experience was very calming, and within 5 minutes, we had reached the other side of the chairlift. We jumped off, and for a few minutes, we admired the beautiful coloured cliffs, shiny pebbled ground, and extremely clear turquoise blue waters. This amazing place was none other than Alum Bay. Alum Bay is a bay near the westernmost point of the Isle of Wight, England. Of geological interest and a tourist attraction, the bay is noted for its multicoloured sand cliffs. The 3 large stacks of chalk that you see beside the lighthouse is none other than the Needles Rock Formation. Each rock rises over 30 meters out of sea. The formation takes its name from a fourth needle-shaped pillar called Lot's Wife, which collapsed in a storm in 1764. The remaining rocks are not at all needle-like, but the name has stuck. Anyways, moving on from my atrocious singing, as we headed back from Alum Bay, this happened. Here are the two clips from both me and my mum's perspectives.
Hello! Hello! How are you doing? How are you doing? It's nice!
Before we left the Needles, we walked around once again and came across more things that could have been done if it wasn't for the terrible heat that fell upon us. These things included a carousel, a prehistoric themed golf course, and a dinosaur karting track. If you're confused as to why there are so many dinosaurs, like I mentioned in my previous video, the Isle of Wight is a hotspot for dinosaur fossils.
Okay, so we just finished going around Needles and I had a really great experience, especially the chairlift, which was a lot of fun to go on. And we also got to see like people putting like different coloured sand in like these glass jars, which was really cool. I also got these souvenirs like this fridge magnet and also one of the glass things that you could fill up yourself. Now we've currently just we drove across the Isle of Wight from Needles to now Wight Beach, and according to the receptionist of where we're staying at, so the hotel we're staying at, she said that this beach is really sandy, and as you can tell, it is very sandy. And surprisingly, the sand is very flat as well, meaning that we're gonna have a good time.
The beach is tidal and dries out at low water, hence it is more suitable for smaller sailing and motor cruisers. It is provisioned for up to 200 boats, either on floating pontoons or leaning against the harbour wall. It has a full-time harbour master who posts information outside the harbour office, including weather reports, tide times, cruiser liner movements and anniversary events. We quickly got into our swimming clothes and headed into the water. The water was much warmer than that back in Sandown. However, due to the tide, the water stretched for a very long distance, and for a while we were still wading in knee-high water. So we just sat in the water and let the waves rock us about.
Okay, so we just finished coming out of the water and I had a really nice experience because compared to Blackpool, the water is so much cleaner here. So I could just like go in and happily swim around as much as I want. Although it wasn't as deep, it was still like a lot of fun to play around and like splash and just like even chill, because like it was so nice, I was about to fall asleep. The nice warm water and then it was like cold water. It's a really nice mix of everything. We're currently going on an evening walk after having a dinner and just listen to the sound of the waves. It's so natural, so beautiful.
Thank you for watching the second video of my Isle of Wight series. If you enjoyed it, please do make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next one.